fighter. Ready, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Morbin time. Dragon Sword! Sorry, I love the Green Ranger. I always wanted to be the Green Ranger. Jason David Frank is still the man in my eyes. Also, Jesus Christ, the memes. A literal, like, okay, the fact that the meme was so powerful, it put that Sony put Morbius back in theaters. I mean, that to me is just baffling. Everything that Sony has tried to do on their own to set up the Spider-Man films to be set in their own like little universe has all gone to hell in a handbasket, and I hate that because Spider-Man has probably one of the best rogues. I would say he probably has the best rogues gallery of villains in Marvel, or of like a solo Marvel. I know the X-Men have a tremendous, huge amount of villains that they go up against, but in terms of just like a solo character with a great rogues gallery of villains to go up against, I think Spider-Man has one of the strongest. And I love, I know Batman has the strongest overall, but again, I think in terms of Marvel, Spider-Man has the best. It's just the problem with these films is just, again, I'm not sure what 100% the problem is. I'm not sure if the people who are overseeing the productions, you know, the producers of the film, the studio heads, they're basically just micromanaging everything and just being like, this is what people want to see. This is what people want to see. And then when it comes out, they just cross their arms just like, I can't believe that the filmmakers did such a bad job making this film. They do that all the time. You know who's the most infamous for that? Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, well, all of them do it, but Harvey Weinstein basically, if you didn't have hit after 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 hit, continue forever, if you didn't have that, he hated you. Kevin Smith confirmed this several times with his podcasts and everything. He said when he was working for the Weinstein Company, the only one that he could talk to was Bob. Because in the beginning, it was, you know, Bob and Harvey would talk to him. But then when Kevin Smith's films weren't hitting like they used to, all of a sudden, you know, they didn't have the time for him. And I just think that that's baffling to me because again, you know, if someone does a good job for you and makes you a whole lot of money or, you know, gets you a whole lot of awards, you should be like, hey man, good job. You should welcome them in and, you know, embrace them as though they're almost like family. But then again, you know, the person embracing you is Harvey Weinstein, and, you know, I'm never gonna get over Ricky Gervais just absolutely tearing into Hollywood and just shitting all over them. They deserved it. A lot of the people at those award shows, they knew what was going on. A lot of the actors, they knew what was going on. And what did all of them say? Nothing. And there are actors out there who've gotten blacklisted for speaking out against Harvey Weinstein. Hell, the only one who did speak out against Harvey Weinstein and almost got blacklisted but didn't because he actually knew people of a higher standing than Harvey Weinstein was Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, when he found out that Gwyneth Paltrow was advanced upon by Harvey Weinstein, Brad Pitt basically just snapped and told Harvey what for, and basically from then on, Brad was never going to work for Harvey Weinstein again. And but for studio heads to act the way that they do and pretend like, oh, we can do no wrong, even though we're the ones micromanaging and basically just warping everything in this production to go the way we want it to. We think this is what's going to work. You know, they have say over Final Cut and everything. And then when it doesn't go right, they're just like, well, the filmmakers just did a terrible job. They don't want to admit that they're the problem. That's why the Venom films haven't worked. That's why this hasn't worked. Oh, God. And I'm wondering what Doug is going to say about this. So, anyway. Oh, just in case, so I don't blow my freaking ears out, I'm going to lower the volume and... Oh, there we go. I'll turn the volume. There we go. There you go. Halfway. I'll probably turn it up the rest of the way once we get into the meat of the video.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to.
Hi,
oh,
Critic.
Man, we got a watch party with the worst movie of the past 20 years, Morbius. I gotta say, I'm especially excited to finally hear him say, it's Morbin time. Let's take a look.
I got some sad news for you, Doug.
One Morbius later.
What the hell, man? He didn't say it at all.
I don't know, man. I feel like the internet made that up.
Oh, come on,
They did.
Shazam. Why would the internet make up something like that?
I don't know, man. I just got a feeling.
No. We must have missed it. Are you down for watching it again?
Who's ever said that about Morbius?
Let's watch it again.
No!
Another Morbius later.
Holy angry variation! It's not in the movie!
Told you, man. The internet made it up.
But why would the internet try to convince us of something like that?
I don't know, Momo Challenge. Maybe it's how it gets its kicks.
Maybe they get a laugh out of things they know don't exist, but try to convince people do exist.
That's a good point, Gumbly.
Please. Gumbly was my father's name. Call me Graggle.
Oh, sorry, Graggle.
Perhaps Morbius is so bad that it feels like a line that would be in it.
That's true. I mean, literally, no other movie has been worse in decades.
I mean, it blew up Canada.
It ate a puppy pound.
It brought back Mr. Rogers just to find something to constantly move it.
Oh my God! Oh, why would? Okay, there have been people again. There are people out there who have tried to cancel Mr. Rogers and have tried to cancel Bob Ross and have tried to again. If I am all for equality. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. If I find out who it is that's trying to cancel Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, oh my God! If I find out who, I am going to punch them square in the nose.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that about him.
Or maybe those things are made up too.
Impossible. Next you'll be telling me Ugly Sonic wasn't in the Multiverse of Madness.
No, maybe he's right. Maybe there's been so much build-up to what a failure the movie would be.
That the internet had fun making up even more failures.
I guess it's possible.
Yeah.
Morbius is one of the most enjoyable failures to come out in recent years. It was based on a lesser-known Spider-Man villain, didn't have Spider-Man in it, starred everyone's least favorite geek media star, and was constantly pushed back due to the pandemic. Like this was going to be the next Top Gun Maverick, like it had to be seen on the big screen. Not surprisingly, the film bombed pretty hard and was ripped apart by critics.
Yes.
But it also got something else going. The internet was fascinated, hell, still is fascinated with convincing people media that clearly doesn't exist, exists. A 90s Geck show on Toon Disney where he swears.
Why am I in the mood to mercilessly beat an LA motorist?
A missing Simpson character named Graggle. Walter White in the Multiverse of Madness. And yes, Morbius saying, it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
Even Jared Leto, in a brief self-allowance of humor, made a joke about reading a script from Morbius 2, It's Morbin time.
I loved that. You see, Jared Leto's a bit of a dick, but even I gotta admit that's funny. Especially because it's written by Bartholomew Cubbins. That's good shit. It did kind of kill the meme, but still, that was probably the last good joke that was made from it.
Sony
It was already
misread
milked.
this meme, thinking it would translate into gold, and re-release Morbius again on the big screen, making it one of the rare films to bomb twice. It was a perfect ending for a perfect failure. But what maybe makes it even stranger is, I actually think this movie's kinda okay.
Oh no! Have you no shame? What's wrong with you? Unreal, unbelievable, unbelievable is me.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay.
So, okay.
All right, Critic. I've always been able to hear Doug out and hear his points. Sometimes I agree with him. Sometimes I disagree with him. Sometimes I disagree with him strongly. But then again, it's his opinion. And I respect it. Anyway.
Okay, I haven't lost my mind. It's clear what's wrong with this film. But I actually found myself getting into it enough that I did want to know what was going to happen in the end. Maybe the bar was set so low. Maybe I was expecting so much worse. Maybe I'm a sucker for tormented monster movies and appreciate this actually gave me a tormented monster movie instead of lying with a buddy-buddy 90s comedy. That's it. There's still lots of laughs that can be had and plenty of stupid things to point out. So I'm gonna mock them like everybody does, but also stick up for it a little bit. A little bit. Because let's face it, who else is going to?
I think we know who the real monster is.
Shut up,
As my
Momo.
uncle comic book Graggle said, worst episode ever.
90s cell phone.
Let's take a look at the internet's favorite failure. Cute. This is Morbius.
That's good.
Film opens with Dr. Morbius, played by internet punchline for at least 2 more years, Jared Leto, traveling to Costa Rica to get his hands on some bats. Yeah, how much you want bet? He used those crutches offset. I hear he also sucked Michael Keaton's blood so he could be a literal lame Batman.
We get to attack Jared Leto? Hell yeah, we're down for that!
I'm just gonna make an assumption and say this is followed by a, yeah, this felt like a sometime earlier movie. Okay, to the film's credit, this isn't like a 2 weeks earlier thing. It actually goes back to when he was a child growing up in a hospital with a rare blood disease.
Hello, Milo. My name's Lucian. The person who was here before was Milo. He was also the new Milo. I don't even remember the first Milo.
Yeah, you totally joined a cult. Everybody here is named Milo. But don't worry, some of the people
Milo.
that left here discovered Atlantis, laws, and overlooked animal cruelty. Jesus, that's a waterfall!
Yeah, that, again, I can't watch Milo Notice ever again because of the animal cruelty that happened with the original filming.
Like the original Spartans. We are the few against the many.
Well, I really like these child actors, and I believe their friendship. These bullies are so impressively one-note, even Stephen King would demand a rewrite for them. Look at the face! Oh, they're dying! Oh, come on, guys. I hear we can get some chuckles at the Anne Frank Museum. Oh,
I hear we can go down to where the AIDS patients are and throw rocks at them. Don't do that.
Nurse?
Milo's machine starts to crash, but thankfully Morbius here is on the case and fixes it with a pen. Again, your run-of-the-mill bad movie would just ignore how impossibly amazing that is, but his doctor does say, holy shit, how impossibly amazing that is.
You fixed it with a ballpoint pen. There's a school for gifted children in New York.
It's called Xavier's School for Preteen Pretentiousness.
Jesus.
While Michael is sent off, he writes to Milo, who's left behind. But oh no, the bully's got his hilarious letters? He says he misses him and every day is physical pain. We should totally show this to the bully factory we came out of.
Nerp, derp, punch. Again, I know that Doug hates old bullies in terms of media. They're in a sense a tired format, and I think that when you write bullies to be just deliberately like, herder, I do bad stuff just to make other people feel bad. When you do that, it sucks. When you're writing a bully, you should at least try and make the bully realistic. I mean, I know it's a comic book movie, but again, they're supposed to be human characters.
Oh boy, this will be just like the time we beat up that old lady with her own wheelchair. Come on, guys, we can punch ourselves for a few hours. Years pass and Michael becomes a breakthrough scientist, creating artificial blood, but still hasn't found a cure for him and Milo. Played now by Matt Smith.
We both know I have issues, but hey, I kept the program.
You know, does dressing up like the Mad Doctor really put kids' minds at ease with your bedside manner? He's assisted by Dr. Bancroft, played by Adria Arjona, who discovers that a lot of his breakthroughs are coming from the OG bloodsuckers themselves.
Some friends I brought back from Costa Rica.
Ah, dinner's ready.
The fusion of different species is a legacy we already carry. We have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
Invest in...
You see, I can understand the thematics of this scene, the warped glass and everything. It's basically like having him seem in a skewed manner to where he's not 100% a good person. He's actually has machinations for something that almost similar to the Lizard from the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. Excuse me.
Bitcoin. He tries it out on lab rats, which at first doesn't seem to work, but after a little bit of time, does. Though their personalities do seem a little different.
It worked. It must be inordinately taxing to be such a boob.
We have to induce a coma before she has a stroke.
But the same can't be said for the child he was working on. Or maybe can, I don't know. She never shows up in the movie again. Yeah, we should probably talk about the choppy editing that clearly cut a lot from this.
Thank you, Sony. Don't thank the filmmakers, thank Sony. They were the ones who did that again, because they're like, we know what's best. We're Sony. We know how to make good movies. We made the original Spider-Man movies, and we made the first Amazing Spider-Man.
On the one hand, it sticks out like, well, another Jared Leto comic book flick, with audio clearly being re-recorded when someone's mouth is off screen.
Does our generous benefactor Milo know what you're actually doing here?
Save my best friend Milo. And everyone else like us.
With that said, it does only show what needs to be shown, focuses only on plot points and emotional moments, and results in a refreshingly short runtime. Again, unlike other chopped up Leto projects. I'll also say the thing you're not supposed to say. Jared Leto is one of the reasons this film works. What's happening? Okay.
3 days later.
So after return...
I wonder if Malcolm, if like there's just an emergency button Rob sees, or like there's a camera up in the corner, and whenever Rob sees Doug saying something absolutely stupid, he hits a button and Malcolm comes in with a syringe and just hits his neck, and then 3 days later Doug comes back to finish the review. Oh, I love that so much.
Is one of the reasons this film works. What's happening? Okay.
3 days later.
So after returning from the hospital, I'm confirmed to be fine and do stand by. Jared Leto is one of the reasons this movie works. Now, you're talking to a guy whose favorite performance of his is him getting the shit beaten out of him in Fight Club. Mainly because I just like seeing him get the shit beaten out of him in Fight Club. I have yet to see a performance of his that I like, and I do like this one. He treats everything first like a scientist. He's also a good friend, an awkward joker. Okay, that one writes itself. And yes, a tortured soul that could easily become pretentious, but he is a scientist first, and his reactions to everything, you can tell, is trying to put his emotions second and his research first, because, quite frankly, he has to.
This could be our last chance. So what do you say? We go out with a fight?
His performance is restrained, but he isn't a robot either. He has reactions that are both legit serious and comical.
Coffee?
Not that kind of vampire.
That, and I truly buy his friendship with Milo, who he also sees as his responsibility.
Is it dangerous? Should I be worried?
You want me to lie to you?
That would be nice, yes.
Let's walk in the park on a sunny day.
Yeah, okay.
Even with this terrible writing with the most generic, overused dialogue.
I should have died years ago.
I don't want to see you get hurt.
It would be a cure.
At what cost?
Seriously, these are 8-bit Castlevania game lines.
Oh my god, he's right. Look, again, this is what it's become in Hollywood. It's basically become a members-only club where they just write the same shit over and over and over and over and over again, and there are almost no instance. There are very few instances of actual creative like flux that just pops into like the zeitgeist and actually gets popular. But it's so few and far between.
He sells it because he seems like he really cares. It's not a great performance, but it's a good one. And considering his past, that is more than enough for me.
Oh.
Listen, if you start quoting the Notebook to me, I am going to stop and hobble very slowly in the opposite direction.
Oh, this is the part where the bullies still wear the red vests, are grown up, and still beat the shit out of them? Tell me they've done anything else with their lives!
That's okay. That would actually be really
Milo's
funny.
money, he's going to international waters to perform his illegal experiment on himself, as he feels it's his last resort. Hey, wait, guys, I don't think they brought us out to international waters just so we could gamble.
This is
Shouldn't be down here.
I can be wherever I want, nurse.
Doctor, actually.
You're still the help, just like me.
Yeah, we have 1 minute to make you unlikable to justify Morbius killing you, so hurry it up.
What the hell? Everybody down to the lab now.
What did that?
Is his code a walkie-talkie? What the hell did he say that into? What, they got the traditional big bulky ones, yet he has some sort of unseen microphone in his collar?
What did that?
No, you're supposed to say until your button fly. That's where your walkie-talkie is!
Stop! Put that gun down!
Oh, they pushed her. I guess they're ethically okay to kill too. We can still reform. Go back and forth on the effects. Hear me out on this one. It's revealed later that he has sonar, and he has a very unique way of experiencing it. Honestly, I think the way they show this is kind of inventive, and it doesn't need to look real because it's kind of an abstract concept.
Also, it reminds me in some ways of the Daredevil sight, where it's basically his echolocation where he doesn't have sight. And I liked that a lot. I really would love to see... Well, they showed something akin to that in the Netflix series. I'm wondering... I'm really hoping they do a comeback with that in the Daredevil Reborn series.
But then it starts showing up on surveillance cameras, so it isn't just how he perceives it. And if that's the case, what the hell is this stuff supposed to be then? Did someone throw turpentine on the CG effects and now we're watching an inkling melt?
Oh.
Quick, to the dark, loud, steamy part of the ship. Nothing will happen to us there. Oh no, this guy wasn't even PG-13 to death. He was PG-13 sound affected to death. As you put together, the action scenes are very 2010s, but again, if Venom can be praised for its brilliant 90s cliches, I don't see why this can't get the same pass. At least they're not long, and they get back to the story pretty quick. Oh shit, I was supposed to have a six-pack, but somehow it gave me a butt crack.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. Request immediate airlift.
His transformation to slightly tolerable Russell Brand is nearly complete as he calls for help to save Bancroft and jumps off the ship. You know, vampires are famous for their super swimming. The FBI arrive, and I love the look on Agent Tyrese's face here when he puts together what his role is.
Yes, I know his actual character has an actual name, but it's just Tyrese Gibson.
8 bodies running IDs right now, but apparently they all shop at the same mercenary supply store.
He's like, ah shit, I'm the straight guy to the annoying comic relief, aren't I? Al Madrigal plays nasally flattened Jeff Goldblum here, and again, to the editor's credit, he wants him just as quickly off screen as we do.
So, what hunts at night and drinks human blood?
Early this morning, an unmanned car...
There, he's gone. You only have to put up with him once in a while. He's the flu shot of the film. This is probably my favorite stuff in the movie. He experiments on his new abilities like a scientist would, documenting it, but also trying to push himself to his limits. I love stuff like this in monster films, especially mad scientist movies, and I legit love his fascination, fear, but also excitement over it.
I have the constitution of an Olympic athlete, increased strength and speed that can only be described as superhuman.
Maybe I can make this haircut work without a Broyus laughing.
No.
I can't perform miracles.
Yeah, again, God, Panic Room. I remember him in Panic Room. I don't want to give it away for anyone who hasn't watched that. It's a great film. You should watch it if you haven't. But I was glad when his character was gone. That's all I'm going to say.
I feel a kinship with these creatures. They welcome me.
No, they're just thinking, don't suck his blood or you'll get all methody.
Yeah, you don't want to be a meth head.
He locks himself away to see how long he can go without drinking his artificial blood when Milo discovers him and he's brought up to date.
I made a terrible mistake, Milo. We won't make mistakes, don't worry about it.
Right, you've never made one like this before.
I know, we both said yes to Morbius, but we can move on! I mean, I can move on! He can't hand over the power to save Milo because it's too dangerous and he craves real blood too much.
What, so you get to live and I get to die, is that it?
I need you to go.
No, please, Michael, don't.
I said get out!
I've only seen you like this after you watch a YouTuber review Suicide Squad. Later that night at a hospital, one of the nurses is attacked and... I guess the most power-saving hospital there is. Yeah, I don't know what's up with these lights. Beats paying the hospital bill. Am I right? Am I right? I deserve this one.
Yeah.
I'm not even a doctor.
No, you're an orderly.
See Doug play Guardians of the Galaxy Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Time on Twitch. We also got a new schedule and material 6 days a week. Hope to see you there. The following day, finds out about the nurse's death and thinks he's to blame. Not just him, but also the Gravity Falls cops here.
You've been looking for a cure for your condition your whole life.
Crazy experiments, maybe on a boat.
Crazy isn't a term that I would use.
And it's not a boat I have, it's a ship. Oh, goddammit. We get a variety of good effects and bad effects covering up probably worse effects, but again, these scenes really don't last that long.
Enough.
Okay, cut to the detention complex.
Holy water?
What? I'm not taking any chances.
Not that kind of vampire.
That guy.
8 dead mercs on a boat really doesn't ruffle our feathers. I'm pretty sure they were guilty of something and happy to have them off the water.
Again, justifying the Spider-Man villain as totally not a villain for some reason. God, I love this trend. Though I don't know, are we in the Spider-Man universe or the Hulk universe at this point?
I'm starting to get hungry. You don't want to see me when I'm hungry.
Oh my god. I'm gonna say, whoever the screenwriter for this film is, Sony, I've been raking you over the coals for this all the review, but can you get your money back from that person? Can you get your money back from that shitty screenwriter? Did someone's fucking cousin write this and tried to pass it off as his own? Oh my god!
Grab a Sinister Sixers.
Has to do with Spider-Man, I think.
Again, though, we get to the good stuff when Milo visits and reveals something surprising. He's Kris Kringle and Kaiser Sose!
Charlie.
I'm really glad they didn't take forever to reveal it was him that took the serum and killed the nurse, as many other films would definitely drag that out despite how obvious it was. And again, the best scenes really are between the two of them. Oh, we heard a thud! Yes, that calls for assault rifles!
Always figured that guy for a freak.
Oh yeah? How's that? You've never met him?
It's funny, because Jared Leto becomes so restrained in this movie, he seemingly hands over his hamminess to Matt Smith, who goes over the top in the best way.
You have to stop denying who you are. It's boring. We can go anywhere. We can do anything. Let's go. Let's have some fun.
He ironically becomes the scenery chewer, but I don't mean that as an insult. It legit looks like he's having a great time, and thus we are too.
Well, Matt Smith has always been a very good actor. Even when he was on Doctor Who, even before that, and even after he's been on Doctor Who, he's been a pretty damn good actor. I've always liked Matt Smith. I mean, he's just a fun character. And here's the unfortunate thing I will say. I don't really see him as someone who can get entrenched into a character. Whenever I see Matt Smith on screen, I'm like, oh, holy shit, it's Matt Smith. And I'm always aware it's Matt Smith. There's never been a time I've watched his character work and I've thought, oh, wow, this character is so amazing. Matt Smith is doing such a great job. Instead, I'm just like, oh, Matt Smith is playing this character. It's again, I love Matt Smith. I think he was great on Doctor Who. He was great in, what's that that horror film directed by Edgar Wright? Damn it. I watched it and I loved it, but again, now I can't remember it. There he is, Edgar Wright. Last Night in Soho. Yes. But yeah, it was again. His performance in that was really good. He's a good actor. He's very fun to watch. Actually, now that I say that, I haven't watched The Crown, but I heard his performance as Prince Philip is actually very engrossing, and he becomes Prince Philip. But again, I don't know. I've never seen that. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get back to this.
Tequila to remember, whiskey to forget.
Michael!
Or was I thinking you were a complete arsehole?
He's like Anthony Michael Hall trying to act black in Weird Science. He's so fascinatingly out of touch. How can you not love the hell out of it?
I am the resurrection.
Also, this is one of the few action scenes that's legit pretty fun to watch. The most realistic part of the movie, New Yorker's not giving a shit.
I will use my Marvel vs. Capcom effects on you!
Michael leaves him and tries to meet up with Bancroft in secret.
Hey, stranger.
Around this here bus, they call him Strider. She believes him and decides to help him out, but they need a lab, which he conveniently stumbles across and conveniently snatches some blood on his way to it. Yeah, did I mention yet the script is the worst part of the movie?
I am gonna need your laboratory.
You trying to be funny?
No, absolutely not.
I'm Jared Leto. I don't know how to be funny.
Who the hell are you, man?
Oh, should he be coming out at a pride party then? Yeah, why do these get a pass again?
Yeah, that... Again...
Who the hell are you, man?
Oh, should he be coming out at a pride
Yeah, again...
party
Sorry.
then? Yeah, why do these get a pass again? Whoa, Doctor Who Dad. Hello, Duke of Hamburg. Milo tries stealing girlfriends at a local club, which pisses off quite a few boyfriends. But he naturally gets revenge later that night. It's Milo time.
Oh my god.
Okay, considering this character, I wouldn't be shocked if he said that. After a pretty cool scene where Bancroft tries to slow down her heartbeat to show Milo she's not lying.
Just to be sure, I'm going to ask you one more time. You don't happen to know where he is?
I don't.
Okay, to be fair, my heart would be beating fast if Matt Smith was just randomly acting this weird around me. He's visited by the doctor who raised him in the hospital.
There will be no more violence. Understand?
And yeah, okay, it isn't quite Fallen Kingdom Call the Police on yourself, but exactly what you would think happens. When your effects get so bad, Matt Smith's original face looks a lot more scary. It looks so cartoony. I keep expecting a cartoon scream to fly out of there. Milo visits Bancroft again, attempts to kill her, and I will say this is kinda where the movie legit starts to blow. It's not the worst, but you can tell everyone just wants to get the film over with. There is literally just 10 minutes left for the conflict, climax, and resolution, and it goes by like 5. It's a little weird. First off, this is Leto and Arjana's only bad acting. She is dying, and neither of them seem to give a shit about it.
Team. Make it mean something.
I'm sorry.
Oh, hold on, I'm phoning a DoorDash while I'm also phoning this part too. He fights Milo in, you guessed it, some pretty piss poor effects.
Drag the Reds. Good for you.
Is your face becoming one of those drawings where it's upside down but right side up at the same time?
Jesus.
Enough action pauses to make Zack Snyder say slow down. I mean, don't slow down, you know what I mean. Their suits are so untorn, I'm wondering if they're vampires too. Hey, coats can also be walkie-talkies in this world. And out of nowhere, he summons all these bats. Does Batman Begins have a lawsuit ready? It's just so many questions. He defeats Milo, Bancroft comes back to life after being bitten, and no joke, that's where it ends. Or rather, stops. It's comical how quickly this film wraps up. And even that it doesn't do very well, because we have an after-credit sequence that is so terrible, it might be my favorite of all time. Michael Keaton as the Vulture appears from another universe, you know, the one where he says hi to Morbius in the trailer, and is released because, well, nobody knows who the hell he is or where he came from. Now, keep in mind, this film did get pushed back because of the pandemic and Spider-Man No Way Home came out first, even though this was supposed to come out before. So a little choppiness is expected here. But oh my god, you have no idea! It shows Morbius driving to the middle of nowhere, clearly meant for a different scene in the movie, when CG Vulture appears with a laughably dubbed Keaton voiceover. Leto's reactions so don't match what Keaton is saying. It is one of the most magical moments in cinematic history.
Oh god.
I've been reading about you.
I'm listening.
Who the hell would say that when Green Goblin's parrot approaches you?
I'm not sure how I got here. Has to do with Spider-Man, I think. A bunch of guys like us should team up to do some good.
Intriguing.
Hey Morbius, what are your thoughts on this?
Intriguing.
Anyway,
what are your thoughts on this?
Intriguing.
What are your thoughts on my hand going up your dead grandma's ass and using her as a puppet?
Intriguing.
He said intriguing, guys! He's totally reacting to what I just said! Okay, so I think the last few minutes are more what people were expecting this film to be. Laughably bad and forced. For me, though, I can't lie about my thoughts. I truly found there to be more good in this than bad. I like Leto's performance, I like Smith's performance. They're both entertaining for different reasons, and it's kind of a role reversal for these two actors. I like their friendship turned rivalry, I like the struggle they had, I like their unique way of showing sonar when they actually kept it just sonar. I enjoy the monster/mad scientist angle of the film, I love when he's experimenting with his abilities. While it's nothing spectacular by any means, if the film was to be stopped halfway through, I would seek it out and finish it to find out what happens to the main leads. With that said, yes, it's phenomenally easy to see why anyone would not like this film. It's poorly written, it's noticeably chopped up, and it's an idea that clearly exists just to give Sony a third attempt at a Sinister Six movie. But like I said, I think this is for me what Venom is for a lot of other people. The bad moments just don't overshadow the good for me. It's only in the last 10 minutes that it gets horribly bad, and even then, I was having a good time with just how bad it was. I guess even the people who saw it didn't think it was quite as horrible as it was built up to be, but then again, it wasn't that many people who saw it. What I do know is, this movie clearly pushes the right buttons to piss some people off, but it didn't do it for me. Yes, there's a lot to mock, but there's a lot to legitimately enjoy too. For me, it's an okay film, and honestly, that's 10 times more than what I was expecting. By no means the best, but by no means the worst either. Also, movie, you didn't have to make up a fake scene at the end lying to us about what was really going on. That's what the internet's for.
Yeah.
Critic, look! Jared Leto in our building!
Oh my god, you're right!
And look! Another Jared Leto clearly in our building!
By Joe, you're correct!
Hi, caramba! Another Jared Leto!
Holy smokes! And another! And another! And another!
Hey, I think a bunch of guys like us should team up.
Yes! To do some good!
Well, obviously. What do you think, Morbius?
Intriguing.
Intriguing indeed!
Ugh.
I am the resurrection.
I am the one. Yeah, sorry. Jesus, this film, I find myself agreeing with Doug to a certain degree, although I still think I think it's a bad movie. I give it like a 4 out of 10. Maybe a 5 if you actually said it's Morbin time in it and they had the balls to actually put... If they would have... Okay, if Sony would have re-released the film when they re-released it, they would have put a scene in with Jared Leto dubbed over saying, it's Morbin time. Excuse me. If they would have put that in the film with the re-release, I would have bumped it up a couple points, because just for Sony to have the balls to actually put it in the film when the meme was still... Again, that's what I think If they really wanted it to be a thing, then they should have. And then the internet would have just been like, if anything, the internet would have had like a Mandela effect moment where it's just like, wait, is it really in there? Yes. No, it isn't. Yes. No, it isn't. Yes. No, it isn't. I think that's how they could have really capitalized on this, is if they would have edited that in somehow when they re-released it, but it didn't happen, so, I guess that's just, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And speaking of crumbling, it is currently 3:52 in the morning. I gotta get some sleep, so hopefully you all enjoyed this, and hopefully I will see you all sometime in the future. And if you want to see more from the Nostalgia Critic and the rest of the team over at Channel Awesome, feel free to click their name in the title of the video. And until next time, I am Nate. I'll see you later. It's Morbid time.